Welcome to episode 7 of The Becoming Room. My name is Tashira, and I'm your host. If you're listening to this while doing something else, I want to invite you, just for a moment, to slow down. You don't need to change anything. Just notice your breath. Notice where you are. Today's conversation is about something simple, but not easy. It's about learning to sit with yourself. A lot of people think stillness should feel peaceful, but for many of us, stillness feels uncomfortable. When things get quiet, our thoughts get louder. We replay conversations. We question decisions. We reach for a distraction. Not because we're weak, but because we've learned not to linger with ourselves. And in this age, that makes sense, especially if you grew up needing to stay alert. In that case, stillness just wasn't safe. But honestly, busy is just a coping mechanism. Although busyness often gets praised, being productive, being needed, being constantly on. But busyness is just a way to avoid being present. See, if you're always doing, you don't have to feel. And for a long time, that might have been necessary. But becoming asks something different. It asks you to pause without immediately filling the space. When you slow down, you might notice restlessness. You might feel uneasy in your body. You might want to scroll, snack, or somehow distract yourself. And that doesn't mean you're failing, it means your system is recalibrating. You're teaching your nervous system that it's safe to be here without bracing for impact. Quite honestly, there were moments when sitting with myself felt harder than any busy day I'd ever had. Silence felt exposing. Rest felt undeserved. And I had to learn that discomfort wasn't danger. It was unfamiliar safety. And that distinction changed everything for me. See, you don't have to fix what you feel. One of the biggest misconceptions about sitting with yourself is that you're supposed to resolve something. You're not. You're not here to figure it out. You're not here to analyze every emotion. You're here to notice without judgment. Feelings pass more quickly when they're allowed. Now, this isn't about meditating for an hour or journaling perfectly. It's about capacity. Can you sit for 30 seconds longer than the last time? Can you take one breath before reacting? That's growth. Quiet, unimpressive, but real. So when thoughts come up, and they will, just know you don't have to engage with them. You don't have to argue. You don't have to believe them. You can just notice them the same way you notice clouds passing. Because thoughts are just information, they're not instructions. For some people, rest feels like a reward, something you get after everything else is done. But learning to sit with yourself means allowing rest without justification. You don't have to exhaust yourself to deserve stillness. Something subtle happens when you practice just being with yourself. You react less. You choose more intentionally. You don't rush the discomfort away. You actually start trusting your inner pacing. And then that trust carries into everything else. If slowing down feels uncomfortable, know that you're not doing it wrong. You're doing something new. So give yourself grace as your system learns what safety feels like without chaos. As we end today, I want to ask you this. Where in your life could you allow a little more space without rushing to fill it? You don't have to change anything. Just notice how it feels to ask the question. Thank you for being here in the becoming room. Be gentle with who you were and patient with who you're becoming. And I'll see you next time.